Excuse me, Makoto. Please.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Last time we continued with the trial and we went into an intermission, to which Maki eventually told us her story about her being the culprit of the case. But Shuichi discovered a flaw within her testimony, and so the control panel and the alarm didn't go off for what she used with her blades. So now we're gonna go ahead and continue on with the trial. I think it's another agree section.
I did attempt to enter the hangar, and I tried to destroy the control panel with my knife. At the time, the alarm system didn't go off.
But if you had approached the shuttle, the alarm would have activated with 100% certainty.
Maybe it was just broken. Perhaps it was turned to a special setting?
Or maybe Maki is telling a lie. Did you really try to break the control panel with it?
I'm not going to tell any more lies.
It seemed like the alarm system itself was working properly. So what can we learn from that? There was an electro bomb.
I did attempt to enter the hangar.
The alarm would have activated.
That's wrong!
There is a way to disable the alarm system. An electro bomb would take it down. But Maki only had one bomb, and she used it during the raid this morning.
But someone had two.
The only other person who could have used one is Kokichi, right?
Huh? Why would I use an electro bomb? I had no reason to shut off the alarm, right? I'd be at a disadvantage if I did that.
I guess so. I can't come up with a reason why Kokichi would want to cut the alarm.
But we all know that the alarm system was neutralized. It had to be. In that case, then
I've got it! Disabling the alarm system wasn't the real objective.
What?
the main objective of Kokichi using an electro bomb. It was either disable the remote control or disable the press the safety option. I'm just gonna fucking go safety option.
That's it! It was to deactivate the safety function on the press.
Deactivate the safety function?
The electro bomb wouldn't have just taken down the alarm system. It also would have disabled the hydraulic press's safety function.
That's true, but why would he do that?
There's only one reason that anyone would want to do that. If I'm right, it means that we've been thinking about this all wrong.
All wrong.
What aspect of this case runs contrary to new evidence? What piece of evidence? This is called into question if the safety function was off. I think it was the credibility of the death video or Kaito's cause of death. I'm gonna try two options here. Go by just number order.
Kaito's cause of death.
What?
If the electro bomb was used while Maki was trying to deliver the antidote, maybe Kaito didn't die by poison. It could be something else entirely.
Entirely, yes. The cause of death could now be.
This is it!
This is it!
The hydraulic press. Kaito could have been killed by the press after all.
What? He could have?
If the safety was off, the press could have crushed Kaito while he was still alive.
Right after I threw the antidote, I tried to open the shutter. So, Kaito should have still been alive.
And if he was crushed by the hydraulic press after that, then we have our cause of death.
If that's the case, it'd mean the one who killed Kaito wasn't Maki.
It would be whoever was operating the hydraulic press. Kokichi.
I see. Very impressive. The hydraulic press could have been the cause of death. But that's just a possibility.
What do you mean?
It's possible that I killed Kaito with the press, but there's no way to know. Kaito's death could have been either the poison arrow or the hydraulic press. Both causes are possible, but you'll never be able to determine it, no matter what.
No matter what?
That's not true. We can probably solve this mystery too. Right, Shuichi?
Let's improvise. Is it really possible to determine Kaito's actual cause of death? Was Kaito's cause of death the poison arrow or the hydraulic press? Is it possible to tell? I say no.
I hate to admit it, but Kokichi is right. We have no way to prove the cause of death.
What did you say?
You can't check the body, and you don't have any conclusive evidence. You can't deduce any more from here on out. There's no way to know what happened. But I know, because I was actually involved.
So that's what you were trying to do. You were trying to commit an unsolvable murder.
Do you finally get it? Yep, that was my plan. The gimmick of this murder case isn't the unknown victim, but rather the unknowable culprit. No one understands but me. Only I know the answer. There's no more room for deduction here. Choose the culprit with your own intuition.
Intuition?
Are you troubled? I'm sure robots don't have intuition, right?
Stop.
But there's nothing you can do about it. This is just
My
how
dog
the trial goes.
fucking keeps stepping my cord.
So, who is the culprit? Maki or me? The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off. It's voting time!
So you could vote for anyone here. Do Kokichi.
Hey! That's my line! I'm the one who decides when it's voting time!
Oh, come on. No one's gonna figure out the truth. Let's just vote already. This won't be a problem, right, Monokuma? Because you know who the culprit is, don't you? Just like you always do.
Huh? Yes! Of course!
Eh? What kind of a reaction is that?
The culprit, you say? Yes! Of course I know!
Why do you seem so flustered?
Flustered? Me? What are you talking about?
What's going on with Monokuma right now?
Monokuma? Do you not know who the culprit is either?
Huh? Oh, what do you mean I don't know? What don't I know, huh?
You don't know, do you?
What does this mean? Why doesn't Monokuma know who the culprit is?
Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is either? If Monokuma doesn't know, what does that tell us about this case? Wait, this case?
Yes, that's it! So that's what Kokichi's real objective was!
Huh? What are you talking about?
Kokichi wasn't just trying to commit a murder that we couldn't figure out. He was trying to commit a murder that Monokuma couldn't figure out either.
A murder Monokuma can figure out?
What's the point of that? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
But consider how many elements of this case would be cleared up. Prior to this case, Monokuma always knew the specific details of each crime, correct? That must mean that he was using some way of monitoring us.
Perhaps there are hidden cameras, strategically placed to avoid our detection.
I can't say for certain, but he must be keeping watch somehow. Kokichi probably used the electrobomb to scramble whatever that was. The electrobomb would prevent any cameras from sending video wirelessly.
Which means it wouldn't matter where the surveillance cameras were hidden.
Like I said, what's the point? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
Before we determine that for sure, I want to make one thing clear. If the objective were to create a crime that would stump Monokuma, the exosols... Yes, the exosols weren't protecting Monokuma. They were
watching him.
That's it. They were watching Monokuma.
Watching him?
Yes. Remember what Monokuma said earlier in the investigation?
Oh, at the time the exorcisms were on autopilot and directed, or totally observed me.
If they were protecting him like bodyguards, they wouldn't have been facing him. They would have been scanning the area, watching us. But they weren't. That implies that they weren't watching us. They were watching him. They were trying to make sure that Monokuma wouldn't go near the crime scene.
That reminds me. Before I stole an exosol, all 4 units were focused on Monokuma. That's why when I stole one to enter the hangar, the other 3 didn't pursue me.
So Monokuma must have been talking about Maki.
Even to put someone at a disadvantage, the class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead. That way it'll be fair to all participants.
She didn't want to share that information because it would have linked her to the murder. In which case, it could only be Maki.
You're right.
So to summarize this discussion, Kokichi used the electro bomb in the hangar and the exosols to watch Monokuma, thereby creating a scenario in which Monokuma has no idea who the culprit is?
I told you there's no point. Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma!
No, Kokichi might not be controlling Monokuma at all.
What?
But Kokichi's the mastermind, right? Shouldn't he be controlling Monokuma?
Kokichi might not be the mastermind.
What?
Remember that the only reason we think that is because Kokichi told us. Monokuma hasn't said a word about that. It's possible that Kokichi is just lying to us.
Literally, you need to know what Monokuma says every time.
No way I lied! I'm definitely controlling Monokuma. The mastermind of the killing game is totally me. The one who pitted humanity's last survivors against each other is... all me, baby.
Right. He's a remnant of despair. How do we forget that?
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the mastermind.
It means someone even more evil than Kokichi is the mastermind.
Well, I guess. But is that really possible? Well, Monokuma?
I can't answer that without causing problems, because I've got to run this trial fair and square.
Even more reason to give us the answer. If you don't tell us the truth right now, you'll be an accomplice to Kokichi's lies. Does that sound like a fair game? Would you say this class trial is fair?
Yeah, tell us! Is Kokichi the real mastermind or not?
No need to think about it. You're being way too forward, you know?
Aren't you normally the forward one?
Ah!
I mean, I don't mind, because that's probably part of your strategy, too. But in the interest of fairness, I suppose it's time to tell the truth. Unlike the lies you love so much, the truth should be impartial to everyone.
And what is that truth?
I'm not being controlled by Kokichi, because he's not the mastermind.
Oh shoot! That means someone is much more fucked up than Kokichi in here.
Is that really true?
Kokichi was just messing with you. I never once said he was the mastermind.
Then it was all Kokichi's lie?
Yeah, that is what that would mean. With the key from the last motive, he was the first to learn the truth of the outside world. Based on his deductions, he fabricated a lie to make you all think he was the mastermind.
I see. Kokichi's own deductions.
Do you want to know? Then I'll tell you. I'm getting kind of bored of all the lying. Somebody has to say now will be the truth, Kay.
His deductions got a lot of details right, though. Pretty impressive, honestly.
But what about the Exosols? If Kokichi wasn't the mastermind, how'd he control them so easily?
He just used Mew's remote control, right?
Mew's remote control?
So the remote that Kokichi was using was made by Mew?
Oh, you didn't know? Mew not only invented the Electro Bomb and the Electro Hammer,
Goddamn Mew, having a huge part into this while dead.
she also made a remote control that can hijack any electronic device. Kokichi just slapped a receiver on each of the Exosols and took them for a spin.
Hey, isn't it a bit unfair to tell them all that?
Fairness has nothing to do with it. I offered up that info purely out of spite. Spite towards you for trying to usurp the mastermind's role and take over the game.
Well, whatever. It's way more interesting to defeat an enemy who plays dirty anyway.
What's going on? It seems like they're actually fighting.
There's no doubt about it. Kokichi isn't the mastermind.
Were we just being dragged around by Kokichi's lies the whole time? What were you trying to accomplish by pretending to be the mastermind, Kokichi? Now you're gonna be all quiet? This is so frustrating.
Then if he's not the mastermind, who is?
Why are you so certain there's even a mastermind to begin with?
I mean, that's a good point, but there was a mastermind technically in the first two games. And the
What do you
anime.
mean?
What?
Why, that's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
But I wanna know.
The real mastermind is not Kokichi. Who could it be? I was thinking it was Junko Inoshima, but that can't be it. She's dead. We've never come into contact with her. If so, who's done this? Who planned this killing game?
Anyway, this conversation has flown off the rails. Let's get things back on track. This class trial is to figure out who the culprit is, not the mastermind. So, yeah, get to talking.
I agree. Before we worry about who the mastermind is or what my intent is, let's figure out the culprit!
But Monokuma doesn't know who it is. How is he supposed to confirm the results?
We don't need to worry about that. Let's just leave the decision-making to Monokuma. But you gotta run the class trial too. So no mistakes, okay?
Are you trying to get me to do something?
You've been watching us solve all these cases, but you can't be a spectator anymore. You're gonna participate in the class trial from here on out.
Huh?
So, let's resume this class trial. Monokuma, you gotta use your brain too. This will be the final class trial. Me versus Monokuma.
You versus Monokuma?
When I play a game, I intend to win. But what's considered winning in this game? Beating the other players? No. Beating the game's mastermind is the true victory. And that's how I'll win! That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma! If I can deceive Monokuma till the very end, then I'll be the winner!
You're dragging us around like this? Just so you can win a game?
As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic.
But since the outside world is in total ruin, this game is the only entertainment we have. At least I can enjoy this game to the fullest and feel good winning.
You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic.
Remnant of despair. Whatevs. Let's just get this started. If the students or Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the winner!
Don't underestimate me, or Shuichi and the others for that matter.
What?
It's just like a remnant of despair to try to assume control of the game.
Is there Kamakura?
But these kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. If you think they're gonna make this easy for you, you better think again.
Whose side are you taking here?
Side? Isn't it obvious? Monokuma joins your party.
Ultimate Despair Headmaster.
Who invited you?
behind this case.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious to say that his motive is to continue the killing game.
Well, we were going to do it anyway.
Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension.
Yeah! Let's just focus on the case.
Hey, be quiet so we can ignore you.
Now, where should we start? We've already established what Kokichi is after.
He's just gonna keep talking anyway, isn't he?
In my experience, whenever you learn a new fact, you learn something else along with it.
Yes, let's look for that.
You warmed up to him real fast. I guess you are both robots.
So another truth comes out. That piece of evidence makes more sense now. The events that I couldn't wrap my head around. It's probably the murder video. Sorry. Here, this murder video.
This is it! Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press. Kokichi said that he filmed that video to prove he was not the victim. But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma. So what about the video? It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you after all.
Then what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
Maybe he crushed Kaito with a hydraulic press, so the cause of death would be unknown?
But if that were the only objective, there would be no need to film it. Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film.
That's true.
I guess you're starting to fit in after all. If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you.
Huh? Really?
There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed.
No reason, really. That's just my twisted personality.
You're lying again, Kokichi. There's a method to your madness. If you wanted Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video, it must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Taking the video of the murder but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it show? What doesn't it show? Give me an I, give me a C, give me a T, give me another I. I. Give me the M's.
I see now.
I see now.
The victim.
Is this even possible? No, this question's for later. For now, we know that.
If you show the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died. Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim. That might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean the victims were switched?
Switched?
Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
Where would he even get another body?
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
If there was an unknown body, then we could guess the victim was switched. But too bad! Switching the victims was impossible. The footage showed the body being crushed. When in the footage would they have been able to switch the victim? And we already established that the footage was not doctored in any way. The camera doesn't have any editing functions. Just play, record, and pause.
Pause.
Monokuma
Pause.
also said that no computer was
I
used
want
to
to see if
edit
that
the
shit was
footage,
paused.
Remember?
Damn it! Me and my big mouth!
Which means switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive. We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is
It might be possible.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
Oh, and what trick is that? See? You don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done. So we can't just give up here.
Hey, Shuichi. I'll think harder about this as well. So, can you confirm whether or not the victims switch places? If Kaito is alive or not?
Maki.
I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Oh shit.
Okay then, let's talk about the possibility that Makiro mentioned.
Himiko, if you call her that again... Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Let's all talk it over together.
Together. And don't forget, you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only gonna wear you out. When times are hard, you gotta rely on your friends.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
That's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
If we could figure that out, maybe we'd know how they switched places. I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time. Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
A trick to that video. What could it be? What's suspicious about it?
There must be some trick to that video.
You all gotta figure out.
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Does the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video... Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Could it be that the video was shot at another location?
Any other bright ideas? Come on, everybody, speak up!
It's either a murder video or the hydraulic press. It's either the mirror video or the hydraulic press. If we put our heads together, we can find a hope. We won't fall into despair.
There must be some trick to that video.
Fucking hydraulic press, whatever.
When the hydraulic press...
I agree.
I agree.
Kibo is onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic press...
Yes, that's right. The hydraulic press kept lowering itself without stopping.
But in the video...
The hydraulic press stopped briefly? Right before it crushed the body?
But why would it stop?
Why did the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of. Oh my gosh, my favorite minigame of all time. I see it.
The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
An electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
That's true.
There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
While the camera was rolling.
Oh, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Huh? Huh? What do you mean?
If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press.
Yes, I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. You stopped that. You could easily have swapped the bodies. Okay. More of this shitty game. Well, that's an electro hammer. This minigame farting sucks. There's no other way.
I see it!
I see it!
The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously. So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
When did you ever say that?
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? What?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely.
Let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up?
There!
There!
The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here. To operate the press and the camera at the same time, it would have to be near the switch.
That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then that proves the trick was used.
Camera angles, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful.
Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class trials.
There was a reason the camera was set up there, but also a reason for the height. When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct? That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height.
Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D pocket.
You don't get to make that reference.
Then, that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press. In that case, Kaito is...
Before he was crushed by the press, he was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive!
Well, wait just a minute.
What? But I just summed it up so nicely.
Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he... Wait, the mastermind?
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What?
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Very well, I'll answer that.
You're giving in pretty easily.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair.
Which is why I'll continue this on next time on Danganronpa V3 Kingdom Harmony, where we go ahead and finish up the trial. Because yeah, this trial is still going to go on for like another 30 minutes, so fun. Thank you so much for coming by on this lovely day of Danganronpa V3 Kingdom Harmony. We will continue on, and yeah, peace peeps.